Yeah, let's give it a shot. I highly doubt anyone's going to be up. Hello. Yo, what's going on, you guys? You were doing a special early show tonight. Decided, you know what? Maybe I should stream a little bit more. Doing some, like, just casual stuff, just chatting kind of thing, Yeah. We'll see, actually. Let me change this to say just chatting. Yeah, Two Cat's here. Hello, Two Cat. What's up? Wow, I didn't think people would pop in so quickly. I'm shocked. I'm very surprised. Tap that screen if you guys are excited to just kind of hang out for a little bit. Just chat it up. Hang out. How you doing? Dude, I was watching a video last night. Channel 5 News. The guy Andrew. You guys ever watch that guy? And there was this whole video about these people from like the looksmaxing community. And I don't know what they were thinking, but sometimes when people get into interviews, God forbid it happened to me. Happens to me. But seeing people kind of just rattle off about stuff, and you're just like, what kind of psychopathic nonsense is this? I was watching it last night, and I was just like, damn. I wanted to do a React video, but React videos are so weird, man, because you're not supposed to use people's videos, but there's fair use, but it's just like, it's really difficult to get like a what's it called? A good feel for how to react to stuff. It's weird, man. It's really weird. Zoe's here. Hello. Wow, a lot of you showed up early. Wow, 5 p.m. Not too bad of a time. Huh. Weird. But anyways, just watching the guys that go on Andrew's show and doing interviews, I'm just like, how does anybody not understand what they're doing is damaging their reputation and their brand? It's very weird, man. It's very weird because it's like they'll say stuff like, for example, in the one I was watching, I can't remember the guy's name. He had a really stupid ass username, but coming from me, Patrick Gnarly. But he was talking about how like women should be like kept in like the supportive role, and that basically the 1960s, the women's revolution was like a mistake and all this. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What does this have to do with what you're talking about? Why are you bringing this up? First of all, and second of all, it's like, why would you ever hold those opinions? You know what I mean? Like, you would have to be a caveman to feel that way. You'd have to be like a medieval serf, It's like, we don't have to live like that anymore. Zoe says, are we talking about Andrew Tate? No, but somebody very close to that community. You know what I mean? It's just very weird. So anyways, I don't know. I was talking about it. I wanted to do I want to do more reaction videos because I feel like you guys would appreciate that stuff more. But at the same time, it's like it's very difficult to get a good feel for that. Some people just kind of run head first into it, but my career is based off of me playing music and kind of chatting and stuff. So I don't know if I want to have other people's videos in here. Upcast says Clav. Is that his name? I guess that's the user. I don't know what the full username is. I should probably just look it up, but I'm not going to because I don't think he deserves the respect. But that being said, dude, it was such a bizarre interview. Andrew has a knack for getting people like who shouldn't be talking. It's great, dude. It's great, dude. Two Cat says, that guy just got arrested, didn't he? I guess so. I don't know. Maybe. He did kind of admit to some, like, really weird illegal activities. So I was like, why is he doing this? This is really weird. And they weren't even like, the statute of limitations for some of them. I was like, I don't know if that doesn't really make sense. I don't know why he's talking about this so openly. Like, he was giving medical advice, from what I understand, just without a disclaimer. He was just like, oh, yeah, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm like, you really should be saying that, like, this isn't medical advice. Like, you have to prominently say, hey, just so you know, this is my opinion. This is not a medical advice. You should always talk to a doctor. Didn't say it, as far as I know. So it's really weird to see somebody, I think, how old is he? He's like 20? Let me pull this up. Clavicle? What's his name? What does that mean? I guess it's vascular and clavicle put together. I don't know. How old is he? I think he's like, he can't be like over 20. If he's more than 20, I'll be shocked. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Hold on. Let me see. How age? Yeah, he's 20. I was right on the money. December 17th. Yeah, dude, very weird. But I just don't understand how somebody can be that young and think that they're an authority. You know what I mean? Some sort of opinion. I don't get that. I mean, let me rephrase that. I could see why somebody would think that in a way, because, you're young. You kind of think, I know everything by this time. It's like, no. Now that I'm older, it's like I look at myself and I go, I have some knowledge, but I know in the next 5-10 years I'm going to feel the same way. So you just don't say it. You know what I mean? You could say I have some knowledge, but you don't want to pretend to be an expert. I think anybody who pretends to be an expert is just like, it's kind of a weird experience. But that being said, so everybody's here right now. That's interesting. Yo, tap that screen. Subscribe to live if you're new here. We're going to keep chatting. If you guys got anything you want to talk about, I'm just going to keep rambling on. But, yeah, we're just going to chat for a bit, man. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a nice casual stream. Because I figured, I was like, okay, what could I be doing at this time? You know what I mean? What could I possibly do at this moment in time early in the day? Because I want to get things done earlier. Because I'm going to do the late shows and stuff for sure, but I just want to see what's going on. Annan says, could you please tell me what string action do you prefer? Okay, so string action is very individual. So for those of you who don't know what string action is, when you have a guitar, the strings on the top of it, they're not all the same uniform like distance from the fretboard. So like the string could be like way up here. Here, let me change. I can't change the camera angle. Maybe I can zoom in. Can we do a zoom in? Whoa! So yeah, if you look at the guitar, so the string action, if you look at it, I can pull the string up so it's higher up off the fretboard, right? So the idea is that you can get closer too. There is a Goldilocks zone for a lot of people where they feel that this is the comfortable, you press down this distance, all that stuff. So they call that string action. You can look it up for yourself. It's a pretty easy concept. So for everybody, it's a little bit different. So it's very strange because you think it would be like, oh, here's the standard. There's really no standard. Some guitar companies will say this. Some string manufacturers say this. Some blah, blah, blah. Everybody's a little different. The point is you have to find out what works for you. Your hands are different than mine. So, for example, I like a lower string action, which is a little odd because I play mostly like rhythms. But so the idea is that you have to measure it. You don't want to just guess. Measuring is your best friend. So mine is like pretty low. So I would say like, if I remember correctly, it's like, it's lower than 2 millimeters, I think. I think I use I hate to say it, I use the imperial side of the ruler. So I don't want to say what it is because it'll confuse a lot of people. But the point is that you want to figure out what it is for you. But I like a low action. When people say low action, they mean, I think, less than 2 millimeters. So if you think about it this way, if you want to visualize that, so if you take a nickel and you put it on its side so that it's flat, the thickness of the nickel, that's about less than that is what I would from the string distance. So Very, very, very exciting question. But I'll tell you this. The higher the action, typically the, quote, louder and better it sounds. But the lower the action, the easier it is to play. So I'm all about comfort and making sure things work properly. So if you're playing guitar, the biggest thing you want to do is make sure you're playing it as comfortably as you want. So some people will have a higher action because they think it feels better, it sounds better. Cool. I like it to be low. So that's the answer that I have. Fung says, play Locrian mode, please. I don't know how to play guitar. I'm sorry, man. Annan says, is tone in the wood or in the hands? You know what's really interesting? So this has been a debate that's been going on recently. There's been a couple people talking about guitars, and they say that the wood doesn't matter and that you could put a guitar with anything and it'll sound good. I think that there is some merit to that when people talk about tone wood. So for those of you who don't know, like you take a guitar, right, and the body wood, this thing right here. For an electric guitar, it's solid. So for acoustics, it's very thin wood. So people like to say that tone wood doesn't matter because you could put anything on it and it would sound like a guitar, which is somewhat true. But I don't know. I've heard guitars that definitely don't sound very good to me. I've definitely heard guitars that sound incredible. They could have the same pickups. They could have the same, wood type. It's a little bit different for every guitar. Obviously, we're talking about physics here, so nothing is physically identical. Even stuff that's like off by one atom is going to be slightly different. Whether you can hear it or not, I don't know. But let me explain this. I definitely think there's some merit to it. Some people think there's none. But let me explain it this way. If you know that on acoustics, like let me play these two guitars back to back, right? There's a couple differing factors between them, but let me play these two things back to back. And you're going to go, I do hear a difference, right? We're going to agree. I promise you, we'll agree. So let me grab a guitar real quick. You're going to hear a difference in the sound for sure. So that's what I think. So I'm just going to play some open chords, right? Sounds pretty good. It's like, okay, that sounds like a guitar, whatever. A big thing with people trying out different guitars between them is you got to do an A-B comparison because our minds are just like, we don't really perceive things in memory as well as we could. So for sound quality, sounds like a guitar. Cool. Let me get a different guitar. A little out of tune, but we can agree that's louder, right? We can agree on that. Same strings, by the way. Sounds more crisp. Good point. Let me get this perfect tuning. But we can agree that they sound different, right? Sounds way, way better. But yeah, see what I mean, though? Now everyone's going to be like, oh, it's this, oh, it's this, oh, it's this. There's a ton of things different between the guitars. I think the most prominent thing that is different is this uses cedar. This is a mostly unfinished body, so it can move. Whereas that other guitar is a solid spruce top, but it has a lot thicker of a finish on the outside. So they sound different. That's it. So the idea is that when people say what creates the sound, it's all of it. It really is all of it. So if it's all of it, it's like, yeah, by definition, it's the tonewood. But at the same time, it's like for an electric guitar, it's like, I don't know. Let me put it this way. I have 3 Les Pauls. They all have the same body, which is mahogany. They have the same neck, mahogany. They have rosewood. They have humbuckers. They're very similar. They do sound different. So it's like, what really is the deciding factor here? You know what I mean? It's like, if you think tonewood doesn't matter, then okay, cool. But there are differences between them. It's kind of a bizarre thing to say it doesn't matter, because clearly, if they're all made of the same thing and they have the same equipment on them, why do they sound different? Who knows? So, but I don't think it doesn't matter. I think the people that say it doesn't matter are kind of inaccurate. I think what they should be saying is it doesn't matter that much. What really matters is the songwriting, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Yeah. Two Cat says Billy Corgan thinks the paint affects the sound. I don't think that's true at all, but I'll tell you this, the finish can have a mild effect. We just heard one of those guitars with a really thick polyester finish, the other one with a very thin satin finish, and we heard a big difference there too. So, but we can't isolate it. We don't have a scientific measurement to it. So, I don't know. It seems kind of weird. Yeah, Upcast says, those are acoustic, though. Wood matters way less than electric. Sure, but like I said, my Les Pauls, same guitar, same wood, same things. They sound different. So, yeah, it matters less, but it doesn't matter and doesn't not matter at all. I don't know. But I'll put it this way. I think it's kind of a silly question to begin with, because it's like, it matters somewhat. I just don't think that matters that much. So, let's see here. We got some more questions in here. See, we got some pickups matter more than the wood and the electronics. It's the amp matters more than the pickups. See what I mean? They all matter. They all have somewhat of a percentage. I think it's kind of a silly thing. I think you should worry about what you like, not how does it affect it or does it make it sound better or any of that stuff. What do you like? That's the question you should be answering. It's, do you like this guitar? Do you like this guitar? Because I like both of those guitars. I like the way the Seagull sounds. I like how it plays. But I like how the Yamaha feels. So what does it matter? You know what I mean? What do we got to do? Pudu says, would you say 90s made in Mexico Fenders are comparable to modern higher end Squiers, or made in Mexico's always superior? If you're talking about the black label Fender made in Mexico's, I think they're mildly comparable. I still think the made in Mexico's are better. I'll tell you this. For those of you who don't know. So Fender makes a lot of guitars. So they have several different sub-brands. And so Squier is like the student model, inexpensive. It's made over in Indonesia, China, etc. There's a bunch of places that use it. If you see Squier, that is Fender saying, here's an inexpensive option. Like, you don't have to spend that much. Here you go. Try it out. See if you like it. But if you see Fender, for the most part, what you're getting is either Fender Mexico, Fender Japan, Fender USA. You're getting something that's a bit higher grade. Now, Fender tried to flirt with the idea of making Chinese guitars with the Fender logo, but people kind of saw through it. They were like, I don't like this. And now you have the Fender Indonesian-made guitars. What is it called? The Player Series or something like that? I can't remember which one it is. The Standard Series? I can't remember. But the point is that for the most part, you have this giant overlap over here, which is all the Squier guitars, all the stuff made overseas. And then you have the other stuff that's more of like the higher end stuff. There's very little overlap in between. But I will tell you this. As far as Squier goes, I don't think Fender will ever make a Squier that's more high end as far as like materials and craftsmanship than something with the Fender logo. And I'll tell you why. That would be suicide for their company. Can you imagine making something that's better than your American stuff, better than your made in Mexico stuff, better than your more expensive stuff for inexpensive prices? That doesn't make sense as a business. They would never do that. So the people that always say like, oh, I think the Squier is comparable, it's like, I wouldn't say so. I'm going to tell you why. It's because Fender purposefully does that. They purposefully don't want to be in competition with themselves. I've seen this in other products before. Like, for example, General Motors. If you don't know anything about General Motors, you have, for example, the Corvette. If you don't know anything about cars, you know the Corvette. It's the old man, big socks, the big shoes, big beer belly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, America. Boom, car. You know what I mean? So the Corvette's out there. It's a great car, objectively. But the joke is that when General Motors had all these companies making cars, they said one rule was whatever you make, it cannot be better than the Corvette. So Pontiac, you have the Pontiac, you had the Pontiac with Trans Am and stuff. All these other companies could not make a better car. So I mean, General Motors kind of proves that. So you don't want internal competition. You don't want that. So Fender would never make a Squire that is better quality than the stuff that they make that's more expensive for less money because they don't want that internal competition. They don't want that doing. So for the people that say Squire is just as good as whatever, it's like, that's a great opinion. But on paper, if you go spec for spec, it just doesn't make sense. So that's my opinion. So let's see here. Band says, do they even make Epiphones anymore? I haven't been to the market to buy a new guitar in over 10 years. Yeah, they still make them. They're horribly expensive now, and they're pretty much the same guitars, which is really sad. Epiphone makes a lot of guitars now with the Gibson headstock, which is like, that's a big deal. So if you didn't know, Epiphone is a company just like Squire is to Fender. So Fender's the big dog. Squire is the student model. Gibson is the big dog, and then you have Epiphone, which is the student-made. But they're starting to try and make higher-end stuff, but they're, in my opinion, they're not quite getting it. There's a lot of quality control issues. There's a lot of issues that are happening with it. So if you don't know, Epiphone makes guitars that are like $1,000 now. It's crazy how much more expensive they are these days. But I don't think they're that much better in quality. I really don't. And again, this goes back to the whole Gibson would never allow Epiphone to make something better than their products. Now, I'm not saying... Oh, I got disconnected. Can you guys see me? Hello? I got disconnected for just a moment. Anyways, but yeah, that's the whole point here is that they don't want people to like undervalue their brand. Yeah, but if you got any more questions, let me know. We're answering kind of questions. We're kind of hanging out. We're just chatting. We're hanging out. We'll play music later. For those of you who are wondering what I'm doing here, we're doing an early show just by hanging out and talking, giving some advice, things like that. But if you guys have a question, you're more than welcome to ask something. I mean, I know a lot about music, guitar, video games, for example. If you got questions about that, let me know, man. Yeah, let me check it out. Let's see here. Robert Sterling. Hey, what's going on, Robert? It says, what got you into playing guitar? Only a week in, and I'm trying to be comfortable with it. What got me into guitar? Well, I've told this story many times in the show, which is my brother is a bass player. He asked to play bass with his friends. He had a band. And then as my dad was walking out the door, he asked me, I was playing Xbox. And he's like, hey, I'm getting your brother a bass. Did you want a guitar? And I was like, sure. So I had no interest really in it. I wasn't like super into it. But as soon as I sat down with it, I went, oh, and it was awesome. So, but that being said, if you're trying to get comfortable, I saw you say something earlier. If you're trying to get comfortable with guitar, I said this before, which is if you're playing acoustic, be nice to yourself. Acoustics tend to have really thick strings, and if you're not used to playing guitar, that will absolutely annihilate your hand. You will get busted up. So I recommend maybe getting a little bit thinner strings, get your guitar set up, go to a guitar tech. A lot of times people don't realize that every guitar is not built for every person. So, for example, my guitars, if you sat and played them, you'd be like, this is ridiculously easy to play. This is stupid. So you want something that makes you feel good while you play it. If I played Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar, I'd be like, this is bullshit. Why is this so hard to play? But they all do the same thing. They all try to get you to communicate your ideas and play music and perform. So if you're learning to play guitar, you have to go to a shop and be like, hey, can I get this set up? And they'll be like, okay, do you want like a basic setup? Which means they're going to set it to probably 2 millimeters, action, 1.5 on the other side to make it a little bit lower. They'll give you like maybe lighter strings, straighten out the neck. There's a lot of things you got to do. It's like getting a guitar and not setting up is like putting shoes on you're trying to buy and not tying them and walking around with it. It's like, what are you doing? You don't even know if you like this. They don't even fit you properly. You got to get them, tailored to you. You got to make sure you get your foot going on it. Cool Killer says, Pat receiving that guitar was a skippable canon event. It really was. If I had said, nah, I'm okay, who knows where I'd be. But the point is that you got to get your guitar set up for you. So whether you learn to do it yourself, which is actually really easy. I do all my guitar maintenance. It's really easy. You got to get your thing taken care of. Yeah, Robert. Like I said, what do you have? An acoustic? You said you have an acoustic. What acoustic do you have? Talk about it. Let me know. Za says, you ever tried Dark Souls? Oh, I love Dark Souls, man. Dark Souls is one of my favorite game series. In fact, one day on my second channel, Patrick Gnarly and Company, we are going to play Dark Souls on stream. You guys will see how much I love that game. Because, like, I played Dark Souls 2 first, which was, like, a big mistake. And I didn't really understand it, but I was playing with friends and, like, my family and stuff. And it didn't really click. And then after I played Dark Souls 1, it went click. And I went, oh! This is a game made by people that understand, like, point of view and perspective and hiding, like, palming things, like hiding things versus just at a line of sight. Great game series. Like, they really trap you. They punish you for being dumb. If you want an example of Dark Souls. So, they'll have a room, right? And they'll have, like, a glowing thing. You don't know what the glowing thing is. You'll be running. And you're in the level, and you're like, oh, cool, glowing thing. If you're dumb, you'll just run right to it and try to pick it up. But they'll have, like, dudes, they'll have, like, people on the sides that are, like, ready to beat the shit out of you. Because they know you're not looking, but you got to check your corners. You got to move slowly, look around, be ready to jump out of the way. Sometimes they just fuck with you, and they'll, like, have a cool item, right? And you'll go to grab it, and there'll be nothing there. So they won't do the same thing over and over again. It's phenomenal. It's a great game series. I love all of it. I would love to play Demon's Souls. I've never played Demon's Souls. I've seen it, but I never played it. So it'd be a wonderful experience to get that thing going on. So Patrick says, you have the energy of someone who would stand on their porch and bullshit with me while I'm on my porch halfway down the street, and we'd get into our conversation. We'd forget to go inside for dinner. Maybe. But that being said, I mean, we're doing kind of an early stream because I play music at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so in a couple hours. And I play video games after that. And I stream that, and I noticed that people kind of want to talk and chat and things and share their minds. So I was like, maybe we just have a just chatting section of the show, you know? Because it's hard to talk when you're playing music. It really is. You can't really get things going. It's really hard to have a conversation while I'm playing a 3-minute, 4-minute song. You know, it's pretty difficult. Za says, it is early for you, 1 a.m. for me. All right. Well, I was going to say, you're on the other side of the planet. You're out there, man. Let's see. Za says, I have a dumb plan to buy a DS2, become famous, and have a renowned pedal. You know what's funny? I have a DS2 right here, and I don't use it. I like it. It's an okay pedal, but I like my my pedals that I have on there right now. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I thought it was cool. I wanted to try it out, but yeah, I think it's just it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's a legendary pedal, honestly. If Kurt didn't play that, I think people wouldn't care, honestly. Robert says it's a Fender FA 13 or 135 CE. All right. So what is that? Got a cutaway and it's electric. Just told him I wanted a beginner guitar. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you, man. I'm not a big fan of Fender's acoustics. You never really hear about them for a reason. Let's see here. Let's take a look at the you said 135 CE? Let's see here. Yeah, that's electric. Why did he give you an electric with a cutaway? You paid. Oh, is that a solid top? Let me take a look at it. We're gonna take a look at this guitar. Hold on. Let's pull it up on Microsoft Edge. Everyone's always like, why do you use Edge? I know why. It's because I don't use it, so I don't have like all my passwords and anything saved on there. So that way you guys don't like goof on me somehow. So all right, here we go. Let's take a look at this guitar together. Oh, it's a Guitar Center exclusive. Oh, so you went to Guitar Center. Okay. Let's see here. Does this have a solid top? It should for that price. For $300, it better have a solid top. So let me show you guys something here real quick. All right, we'll go to Pat Chat 2. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll open up a window capture. Let's see here. There we go. So we'll take a look at this guitar. Give me 1 second. I want to pull it up. So that's the guitar we're talking about, apparently. So if you look at it, That is a that looks like a smaller bodied guitar. So hold on. So 320. So let's look at the specs. So when you're buying a guitar, hold on, let me put this down here. There we go. So I can point at stuff. So if you look, the top of the guitar right here, where it's like the flat side, this side of the guitar. So typically when you're buying a guitar, acoustically, you don't want to buy something without a solid top because it's like quieter, it's more muffled sounding. So this doesn't look like a solid top, but let's take a look at it. Usually they brag about it. They'll be like, oh, solid top, blah, blah, blah. So let's take a look. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Laminated spruce top. Not good for that price. So here's the thing. So the guy who sold you that, he got you something that will work. It's fine. But the reason you want a solid top is because it's louder, it's clearer, and it's what you're paying for when you get that cheap, inexpensive thing. So you paid a little extra for, what is it? Does this have electric stuff in it? Can you plug it in? Oh, hold on. Sorry, the camera's a little bit, it's moving stuff around. It looks like you can plug it in. Yeah, right here. So you paid a little extra for the electronics, which not a lot, but then you also paid a little bit extra for the cutaway, and I think this is a smaller body. So basically you paid a little extra for something you're not going to use as much. So that guy sold you kind of something dumb. But that being said, you're still going to be able to play it. You're still going to be able to enjoy it. But I think what you could have used was something with more appointments that will make it easier for you to play. So for example, this has a solid top on it. You can see it's really pretty how this top is, and they usually brag about it. So this is Yamaha. This is the Killonaut. Shout out to Cool Killer. But yeah. So the reason you want a solid top is because you get a much clearer sound to it. So I'll play this just for a moment. I don't have a guitar without a solid top. You know what I did? But I fucking smashed it. We smashed the guitars with the laminate tops, but I mean, obviously you can go to YouTube and you can just look up solid top versus laminate top and you'll hear a difference. And it's night and day. Like we went back to tonewood earlier. We're talking about how tonewood doesn't matter that much. On acoustics, it does a lot. It really does. It's just... So this one is a nice top to it. It's Yamaha, incredible guitars for the money. So here, let me show you something you could have got. Let me show you something you could have got, buddy. We're going to type in Yamaha. Let's see here. Solid top. I'm going to type in Yamaha solid top. Get out of my face. Let's see here. We got an FG 800J. Usually it says FGS, but here we go. Look at this beautiful guitar. Solid top. Dreadnought, the big boy. Dreadnought is the shape. That's why we call this the Killonaut. This is a beautiful guitar. But these are basically the same guitar. This just has like pretty stuff on it. I got this used for like not much. So, oh, there it is right there. It's like the same. It's like the same guy. What's going on there, pal? But see the difference in just like look at the video. Like you can see how the color changes a little bit with the lighting. You can't really see that in pictures, but let's say you get the Cherry Burst, beautiful color. Here's what you get. Yamaha is known for having like excellent quality. And just so you know, I'm not sponsored by Yamaha. I just like them. So this is a guitar I would always recommend. This is why I bought this for the show, because I wanted people to see a good guitar. So the FG 800J features a solid spruce top. Boom! That's what you want. They always talk about it. It's like the first thing they talk about. Spruce tops are very loud, very articulate, very, very, very good sounding tops for the guitars. So the rest of it's a lot of marketing stuff, but the point is that you're only paying for what you need. So no electronics. You don't get cutaway, which is, again, cutaways are fine. I have a guitar with a cutaway. But you're paying only what? $260? $260, pal. And whereas you paid what? $320? You don't even get what you want. So... yeah, again, not a big deal. You're still going to be able to play it. I don't think you should be sad or upset. But I'm going to tell you right now, buddy. If you can return it, see if they got a Yamaha. I'm telling you. Unbeatable for the price. Za says, can you check out my guitar? Sure. Ibanez PC 12MH. Is that the mahogany? PC12. Let me see what that is. We'll take a look at it. Yep. I like these guitars. Actually, these are great. I think this also is a solid top. This is their Martin clone. So hold on, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is a mahogany top, which is kind of unusual. Most guitars do not have this going on. So typically it's a spruce top. Pianos are made of spruce. Don't ask me what it is specifically, but the bottom line is spruce, loud, clear. The grains in it are huge, so it just vibrates really easily. Beautiful guitar. Love the mahogany. They're going to sound a bit different than other guitars. Again, tonewood's a real thing for acoustics especially. But this is a little guy. So he's what they call, I think it's a double O, maybe a triple O. This is a smaller guitar than this. You can always tell a dreadnought because the shoulders are kind of square and then big old hips. Big old hips. So if you look at this guy up here, it's a little bit smaller. A little bit. Noticeable. I would say noticeable amount. So, whoops, hit my mic. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's a great guitar. I like them. Yeah, phenomenal little guys. I like them. Mahogany's good. So, but yeah, I like it. I would recommend it. I think they're a little bright. You're not going to get a lot of the low end because of the mahogany, because of the top. But they're good, man. I like them. I think they're great. Let's see here. Damaged Healer says, hello, Patrick. I can't stay, but have an amazing show, mate. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Like, Robert, you don't have to keep the guitar if you bought it from Guitar Center. You can return it. You got 45 days. I know that for sure. But I don't think you have to. If you're playing it and you like it, keep it. But if you're like, maybe I want to try something different, here's what you could do. Go back to the store. Sit down. See, all you got to say is, do you have Yamahas, like, with a solid top, like around $300? And then they might have a used one. They have a used one. Dude, you save a bunch of money. Go in, walk up, just say, hey, I want to test this versus some guitars. See which one you like better, man. You don't know. Because maybe you do like the Fender. Maybe you do. Hey, man, it's your hands, your ears. You don't know. But I'm telling you right now that if you sit down with a Yamaha and you go, dude, this thing smokes this. I mean, I used to sell guitars for a long time. So I know what sounds good. You don't have to sell the instrument. The instrument sells itself. If you sit down, you're like... You're like, that sounds pretty good. And then you get another one. And you sit down with something with better quality. And then you go, okay, that does sound a little clearer, a little louder. What's the price difference? You're like, oh, this one's $600, that one's $200. It's like, I'll take the $200. Because is it that much of a difference? Is it worth it to you? It's worth it to me, but maybe not to you. So, yeah, get a solid top on an acoustic, man. But interesting how that works. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, Guitar Salesman, for the most part, I would say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, just want you to buy something. They'll be like, do you like that? All right, go buy it. Do you like that? Sure, go buy it. It's a good guitar. They really don't ask you what you like and what you don't like, and it's really lame. So, Zah says the Yamaha was better, not going to lie. There you go. See what I mean? Everybody's a little different. Zah's wrong in this case, because this guitar sounds amazing. I'm just kidding, dude. Let's see here. Jess says, play something about Guns N' Roses. Nah, we're kind of just chatting, man. If you want some music, we'll be playing music later. Sorry. Also, I don't know how to play any Guns N' Roses. Well, the good news, Zah, is that you're liking something that's more inexpensive. So that's good for your wallet. Yeah, this thing. I've had this thing for 20 years, man. 20 years this thing's been around. Lo says, do you know Stray Kids? What is Stray Kids? Is that a band? It's a K-pop group. Are you sure you're allowed to be in here? I've never heard of them. Does anybody know Stray Kids in the chat? I think you might have wandered onto the wrong stream. Robert said, you also said light strings would be better, right? Guitar guy ripped me off. I mean, not necessarily that he ripped me off, but like, again, they just don't care. They don't get paid enough to care. I mean, Guitar Center and a lot of certain brands of guitar sales places are like, they're kind of the McDonald's. You know, if you want something quick, it's good for that. But if you want something, if you want a meal, if you need advice, if you're new, they're not the best place in the world, for sure. See, Zai uses 12 to 53 for a more profound tone. That's so thick of a string. That's absurd. Yeah. Like, that sounds good for acoustic. Like, it'll be loud and pronounced, but, I mean, let me put it this way. I would rather play something that's effective and makes me comfortable and lets me play for 3 hours than play something for 30 seconds and like, oh, my hand, oh, this hurts. You know? I'd rather be able to do something like... You know what I mean? Be able to use the best of my abilities. But, yeah, if you want to play with 12s, man, go for it. But I play with... These are 9s. That's three levels down. Yeah, these are 9s. These are electric guitar strings, too. I use Ernie Ball electric strings on my acoustics. Because they're consistent. They're consistent on my electrics and my acoustics, so I know exactly where to bend them and all that stuff. It feels perfect. If you change string brands, sometimes they change a different string gauge for like 1 or 2 of the strings. It's a little bit different. You got to set it up a little bit different. I'd rather have consistency. Consistency and quality. So now you could argue like, oh, you wish you had 80-20 bronze or phosphor bronze. You didn't notice though, did you? That's why it's just as ridiculous. Don says, why won't it let me a message about used guitars? It might be a different word you're using in there. There might be a word in the word or something like that. So. Can anyone else say the word used? I could say used. Jim Jones says, why are you trying to scam people? What do you think I'm scamming people about? Black Star says, I don't play electric guitar regularly, acoustic only. Cool. But I like how heavier strings feel on acoustic. Would like something that mirrors that if I switch to electric? Yeah, you could put thicker electric strings. Yeah, there's no law. You know what bass players exist, right? They got way thick strings, man. Let's see. Jim Jones says, we are not buying your course, buddy. Get a job. Oh, sweetheart. There's nothing to sell right now. I play music, though, on my show. I don't know if you know this, but some people can stream because they just want to feel like it. And then some people can do it for money. I do both, baby. Has any? Wait, no, don't kick him out. Don't kick him out. Yeah, I want him to stick around because this is a whole chatting thing. We're here to chat. So like, if somebody wants to accuse me of ripping people off, even though nobody has sent any money or I've never asked for any, go right ahead. It just makes him look dumb, not me. You know what I mean? We're just kind of talking. That's it. This is just chatting. That's all it is. We're just chatting. That's the whole point. Yeah, can you imagine somebody walking up to somebody just kind of hanging out at a park or something, playing guitar and being like, hey, man, you're a fraud. It's like, whoa, relax. You're not buying what you're selling. It's like, no one's selling anything, man. We're just hanging out. Jess says, where are you? Where are you, pal? Which state? Oh, I'm not going to say it yet. I have a tour that's coming up in the near future, probably in the summer. And then we'll talk about where I live and all that stuff then. So Don says, people hating on streamers for streaming is so funny. Meanwhile, they're doom scrolling. Yeah, pretty much. That's the weird irony. The amount of times somebody's come into our stream and complained, it's like, dude, just keep going. You came to my house. You came into my stream. I'm not telling you what to do. If you don't like it, just find somebody else. I'm pretty sure there's a booty streamer out there for you. Not me, man. Sorry. Well, I'll be real. Robert says apparently streaming is a scam nowadays. There are a lot of people that do scam during streams. I'll tell you about this time. So check this out. So there was this guy that I saw on TikTok when I used to be on TikTok, and he was like a drummer guy. I'll never forget this. Hold on. He had this message at the top that said 0 out of 1 galaxies. If you don't know, galaxy is like $20-something. So you send $20-something to him. It's at 0 out of 1. And he was just drumming. He was like practicing his snares, like. And he had this thing where it said, like, if you send a donation, I will put your name on a drum thing, like a drum head or whatever. So I was like, okay. So he's just kind of hanging there. He's all he's doing is like staring intensely. And then people would be like, yo, what's up, man? Oh, cool drumming, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody would send a galaxy and he'd go, oh, thank you. And then he'd lift up this giant stack of drum heads. I mean, we're talking like 20 or so. It was a ton. And he's like moving them. He's like checking them. They're like, oh, I already put a name on that, name on that, name on that. And then he sees one with like an empty spot and he goes, okay, cool. And he just writes their name. He goes, thanks, man. I wrote your name. And then he doesn't change the 0 out of 1 so that the next person who sends one is tricked. It was bullshit. I was like, this guy sucks. So he's not really answering questions. He's like giving yes or no answers. He's like, do I like to play drums? Yes. He was basically just grifting. And I was like, oh my God, this guy sucks. So it's like, there are people that do that. Like, don't get me wrong. There are absolutely people that do that. The thing is, though, I'm just chatting. We're just hanging out. We're doing like an early show. And then at 8, that's when my music starts. And if you want to hear a request, you can send a donation if you want to. But you don't have to do anything. There's no grift. It's just, do you want music? Yes or no? Do you want to pick the song? Yes or no? If you answered yes to both questions, you can send a donation for a song. But you don't have to. There's no trickery here. Everything's written out. Everything's written out, man. So I thought that was really funny. But yeah, no, that happens quite often. People see streamers and they go, get a job. It's like, this is my job now. I get to stream and hang out with you guys for most of the day. And then I get to talk about my favorite topics. I give advice on them, or we play video games. We do something. We hang out, man. So it's like, you don't have to be here if you don't want to. Go watch a YouTube video about how lithium batteries are a new technology or something. I don't know. So it's like, I don't understand why people do that. But part of me kind of understands the whole, like, they're uneasy about a streamer. It's like, I get it. There are streamers like that guy. Or did anyone see the AI Kurt Cobain guy? So this is something I deeply get upset about. Like when people like take people's identity with AI and stuff. That's crazy. But he's like a weird case because he does it in a way that's like, it's almost like a joke because it's so jarring. I wouldn't call it entertaining as so much as I would call it like a morbid curiosity. Me and him have talked. He's talked to me off stream. It's really funny. But yeah, he sent me a message recently. I should say recently, 3 months ago. And he was like, hey man, I'm having problems with my TikTok. Do you have any advice about it? So I gave him like a couple paragraphs of like, hey, you could do this, you could do that. 3 months later, he goes, thanks. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy is so weird. Oh, it's so funny. Za says, but he's not trying to scam. He's just defect posting. Defect posting? What is that? What is defect posting? That's bizarre. What is hold on, we got to look that up. Defect posting? Is that like where somebody's like weird? Highlight a flaw, damage, or issue in a product, service, or system? Huh. I don't know. Here's what I would call his stream. I would call his stream a bizarre curiosity. Like, again, he's not effective enough to where he's like trying to trick people, but he is like, it's so weird you can't really look away. But The part that I have problem with the problem I have with his stream is he says, it's me, Kurt Cobain. I'm streaming from heaven. It's like, all right, that's a little weird. All right, you went from like pug cuteness to where you're like, you're so ugly, you feel sorry for them and they're cute. You know what I mean? To, okay, you're saying you're the ghost of Kurt Cobain. That's kind of fucked. So, I don't know. That's kind of weird. So, we'll see. Very strange how that happens. I don't know. But yeah, I don't like that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's just a very strange experience. But that being said, again, it's not like I'm going to stop him, but saying you're the resurrection of a dead person is really kind of just like, okay, you went too far. That's a little odd. I'm not going to stop him, but in my opinion, it went from like cute to, okay, I don't like this anymore. So, very strange. Yeah. Anybody else see anybody stream like that? Anybody got any weird streamers or interesting streamers? I've seen a couple. I don't want to say their names or anything like that, but I've seen more than a handful of people that are very bizarre. And I mean, my channel is kind of bizarre. I wouldn't call it too bizarre, but it's a little odd. So, Za says, but Kurt is the literal person. You do that kind of stuff. He got the perfect face for it. I don't know if I'm sounding weird though. What do you mean? You think he looks kind of like angelic or something? You mean like he looks like Jesus? Is that what you're trying to say? I do know like the guy who does it has like a body shape like Kurt, but it also changes his voice, which is really weird. So, Fel says, I've seen a drug dealer. Interesting. I don't know if I would call that bizarre so much as I would call that, dangerous. I don't know. Let's see here. I saw someone eating out of a toilet. Yeah, I would say that's really weird. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Don says the shark teeth guys toy guys. What? Hold on. Let me read that again. The shark teeth guys, toy guys, 90% of them are fake recordings on their streams. Oh, yeah, that's another thing that happens is that people do fake streams where they just have a looping video. I don't understand how so many people get tricked by that. They just say the same thing every like 12 seconds. I don't get it. Very, very weird. So, toy shark teeth guys. Oh, okay. All right, we had a little bit of a word there. So, Blake says there are sleep streams. I've seen those. Those are really bizarre too. But for some reason, you get like 7,000 people in the room, and you're like, okay, it's a weird community. I don't get it. Za says, where'd you practice your singing? At home. There's no bathroom in the shower. I got no studio or anything like that. There's nothing I practice. So, and guitar where you were with your parents. Sorry, there was a qualifying to that question. It says, where were you singing and guitar where you were with your parents, where you couldn't do any noise? You'd go outside or something like that? I need advice. Okay, so you're asking how to practice music without annoying your family. So, I mean, when I did it, we had a basement. We also I had my room too. So I would just play music and it was one of those accepted things where it's like, if you're going to play music, you're going to be annoying for a bit. Like, trust me. Like, the reason I don't practice... Oh, thank you so much for whoever subscribed. I did not see your name. I'm sorry. I did not look over fast enough. But anyways, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, if you want to practice at home, your family kind of has to acknowledge that it's going to suck for a little bit. That's just how it's going to go, man. You could practice somewhere else. If you really want to get your nerves shot, go to a park. That way everybody at the park's like, there's a cat dying. What's that? Oh, it's that guy. So you got to find a place, but at the same time, you got to kind of have to accept that it's just going to bother people. You know what I mean? You're just going to bother people. Yeah, I don't have any major advice other than you're going to have to kind of muscle through it, pal. You can't really play quietly. You got to try. And if you have... record yourself, too. I would record yourself. Because it's important to listen to yourself back in the kind of third person, because when you're going... Let me give you an example. So I have a song called What I'm Looking At. And when I'm playing... Here, I'll play it for you guys real quick so you can listen to it. Just for a moment. Because I want to make sure you guys understand the aspect of listening to the song and playing the song are totally different. So that feeling you get is totally different. Regular guitar, no big deal. what I'm looking at, what I'm staring at. Okay. So the reason I'm playing that is because you listening to that, you're like, okay, sounds good together. But when you're playing it, the aspect of just playing the notes and together, because you're doing two things at once. You're keeping that rhythm. Explain to me what I'm looking at, what I'm staring at. Okay. So you're paying attention to a lot of different things. So when you're listening to yourself back on the recording, you can tell like, okay, I was off rhythm there. I came in too early. Oh, my pitch is a little bad. I got to work on the pitch. Because when you're doing it, you're juggling a lot of things, right? You're juggling. But when you're not listening to it while it's happening, when you're listening after the fact, you can go, oh, yeah, my rhythm's bad. I slowed down a lot. I sped up a lot. You got to really pay attention to what you're doing. So when you're practicing, really try to get something, recorded. That way you can actually listen back to it. Zah says, I relatively sing better with guitar. Probably because you're like kind of matching the notes. It's good to have an accompaniment, you know. So definitely go and record yourself while you're practicing, because that's an important thing to kind of go back on. You don't want to listen to the whole thing. Obviously, you're gonna be like, okay, I've already done this. This is boring, but you can just go back. Cold Feet says, what are we doing here? I don't know. You know what? If I had a giant sign that said what we're doing here, that might be helpful. So I made a sign. Oh, that's crazy. Anyways. Let's see here. Fel says, I saw a Glue ASMR stream, and it's probably pre-recorded. Probably. Because they don't really interact with the audience, though, do they? I remember we had a guitar ASMR. That was pretty funny. Don says, dude, people are so funny today. Yeah, well, I noticed that, like, when you have a stream that kind of invites dialogue, that invites conversation, you get people that have like lived on an island their whole life and they've never talked or read or done anything with a human being before, you know? They're like people that live in the sewer. They just show up and they like go, what am I doing here? And you're like, relax, all right? There's a sign, it says we're just chatting about music, guitar, video games, just you got questions, whatever. And they're like, I don't understand! And you're like, all right, relax. You got to go. You got to go! You know what I mean? But yeah, if you guys got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. You got an idea, you want to talk about music, guitar, video games maybe, whatever. It's not a big deal. So Zah says, dude, what are we doing with guitar in your hand talking about some music? What's the affair? All right, so as it says, any girl here to interact. Hold on. Jess, let me ask you a question, buddy. You think? Oh no, don't unhide him real quick. I want to talk to him. Real quick. But Jess, let me ask you a question, man. Do you think any human being on the planet would want to talk to somebody asking if there's a girl in the room? Can you imagine? I want you to put on your thinking cap for a second, right? I want you to imagine you're at a restaurant and you walked in the restaurant and you go, is there any girl here who wants to talk? It's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Everybody would be like, who the fuck is this guy? So we're all doing something. So you get how that doesn't make sense? You don't want to do that? Is there any girl here who wants to talk? Hello, everybody. It is me. Yeah, don't do that. That's creepy and weird. Don't do that. Wall says, I'm the girl. Buff says, are you just talking? I think so. I'm not sure. There might be a giant sign you could read, but I'm not sure. So, Jess says, ha ha, you make me laugh. Make a song with that. You want me to? You guys want me to make a song for Jess? Anybody want to hear a song? I can write a song. We'll write a song right now. Buff says, no need to be rude, buddy. Was that rude? I don't think it was rude. sensitive. Anyways, all right, so what do we got here? I think we can write a song with it. But, Jess, what were you doing? You said you were wondering if there's any girls. Hold on. I got you. I'll write a song for you. I got a song. Let's see here. Let's do maybe an A chord. I'm lonely. Any girls wanna talk to me? I'm a loser. I got nothing but cold calls for the ladies. There you go, Jess. There's a song for you. There you go. AM says, what's your favorite guitar and why? I like Strats a lot. I'll show you a Strat real quick. I'll explain why. Great question. Also, if you guys are enjoying the show, tap that screen. Subscribe to Live. Jess says, nah, come on, does not mean to be a loser. Kind of does. You guys think it's kind of a loser thing to go into a chat room and ask for the ladies? Let me know. Don't just take my word for it. Let me know in the chat. You think it's kind of lame? I think it's pretty lame, dude. Anyways, so this is a Strat, if you don't know. So Strats have this iconic shape. Everybody kind of knows it. And it's just a really great, comfortable shape. It's inexpensive. They're everywhere. You can find parts for it everywhere if you want to replace stuff or modify it. Strats sound good. They feel good. They look good. They're kind of like a perfect guitar, in my opinion. Obviously, you can change stuff on it if you don't like it. They're phenomenal. I love them a lot. I remember when I was getting a guitar, I just saw everybody with a Strat, and I'm like, why does everyone like this thing so much? This is so boring. And then I sat down and played one, and I went, oh, it's kind of like, it's kind of like the T-shirt. It's kind of like, like a Nike sneaker. Just like it's so good at what it does. Everybody kind of just puts it as the standard, It's like, okay, this is kind of, if you're looking for something that does this, you want this one. Everything's compared to it, man. Grizz says, dude seems like a creep. Stop begging for donations. Where do you see that, pal? Man, we got, you know what it is? It might be the same guy coming up. I bet you it's the same guy. Samuel says, can you talk about your gear, your setup and gear? Oh, yeah, we're talking about right now, man. Sit back and relax. So we got a question about what my favorite guitar is and why. I really like this guitar because the big reason is the neck. The neck on this fits my hand perfectly. See, what's interesting about guitars is their biggest weakness is their biggest strength. So when you have a guitar that fits your hand perfectly, you kind of grade every other guitar as if it's like, is this as good as this one? You know what I mean? So the reason why it's its greatest strength and its greatest weaknesses is that the greatest strength is because guitars are so kind of handmade still. They're sanded with their people's hands. They don't have a machine that does it all the time. They have machines that do it with them, but it's not a robot. So you get guitars with smaller necks, some with larger necks, some with wider necks. We're talking a difference of like millimeters here, real tiny increments. But when you have a guitar that's only like, what was it, 42 millimeters across? 1 millimeter, that's a big deal. So when you find a guitar that fits your hand perfectly, you're like, I got it. This is for me. And that's this one. This was the third guitar I ever bought, too. All the other guitars I compared to this one. So maybe you'll find one that really just fits your hand and it's like perfect, like a glove. And it's like a good pair of shoes, Sometimes you get a shoe and you're like, the leather's a little too stiff on this side, or this doesn't fit perfectly. You want to get something that fits perfectly. So I like this guitar for that. I've modified the body a little bit, the electronics, stuff like that to make sure it's perfect for me. So because the idea is that when you're playing music, you want to be able to take what's in here, whatever you're kind of imagining, and be able to put it out there. And the less things in the way, the easier it is to do it, right? the less things that get in the way for that. So this is my instrument for that. So anytime I'm writing music and stuff, this is the kind of thing I grade it against. So this is my favorite guitar. So you want to find something out for you. Yeah, because here's the weakness though. Because it's handmade, because there's, differences of millimeters and stuff. The problem is that you really can't find another one that easily sometimes. That's the problem. So if you get an instrument and you're like, I don't know, man, this isn't like the one I had before. Like, for example, I have another guitar that looks very similar to this. Very similar. Right? This is like a slightly bigger neck. And I'm like, I like it, but I don't love it. Does that make sense? It sounds similar. You know what I mean? It sounds pretty close. But it's like, it's not exactly what I want. But again, it's like not a big deal. It's you're gonna keep looking for stuff that you find or you don't find. Some with a similar neck, some with a similar feel. It's just you want to find something similar. Everything's just a bit different. So yeah. So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, if you guys got questions, let me know. We're just chatting today right now. Usually I do music later in the show, so if you're wondering why I have all these guitars and stuff, we're kind of just chatting. We're going to be chatting for another hour. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, man. Graf says, do you prefer a glossy or a matte neck? Ooh, great question. So for those of you who don't know, guitar necks, remember I was talking about how they're all slightly different? So guitar necks have different material that gets sprayed on them or rubbed on them, whatever it is. And sometimes people prefer one style over another. So if you don't know, I actually prefer glossy necks. My hands don't sweat. I don't have sweaty hands. If you have sweaty acid sweat that comes out of your hands, trust me, glossy necks are like the Antichrist for you. You guys hate that. Oh my God, you guys despise those. But I don't have sweaty hands. So when I play, it's just like, whee, it's fine. So if you got sweaty hands, you're probably going to want something with a different neck. So let me show you. So we can see that there's a reflection, right, with the light. You see that? It's very pronounced. It's very smooth. I love a glossy neck. They're great. So let me switch guitars. I'll show you a guitar without a glossy neck. So this one has a very thin satin finish. So it's somewhat reflective, but it's not nearly as reflective, is it? See that? Not much of a reflection there. There's a somewhat, yeah, but it's not nearly as reflective. It's smoother. You can hear it. It's like. So I think it's okay. I don't mind a satin finish neck. I don't like the bodies to be satin, but you got to find what you like, man. Remember I told you? It's about you, what you like to play. If you like a satin finish neck, dude, go for it. Just find out what you like. You got to sit down. You got to play them. But objectively speaking, these are smoother, so you get less resistance. So if you have sweaty hands, like, whew, you're fine. It also doesn't get stuck to it. So it's pretty crazy. Mohawk says, I never paid attention to that. Go look at your guitars. See if they got glossy necks or satin necks. If you got sweaty hands, man, you're probably going to prefer the satin finish necks. So let's see what else we got here. We got a bunch of questions in a row. Hold on. What do we got here? Jess says, Kurt Cobain used those guitars? Similar ones. Not exactly, but similar, yeah, for sure. Amazing sound on the last one. Amanda sent a $2 donation saying, Finals! Hey, that's my band. Yeah, if you didn't know. I play music professionally. So if you guys want to listen to music from my band, check out Finals. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, whatever you want. Muzz says, play Red Hot Chili Peppers Snow, please. I don't know how to play it, buddy. Sorry. Sorry, bud. Ashfall says, what tips would you give for writing grunge riffs and lyrics? Oh, man, I don't know, actually. Oh, and you know what? Real quick. Let me honor our good friend Amanda for sending a wonderful donation. Let's put her in the show, man. Give me 1 second. Let me switch screens. You're going to see a different screen for a second. It's going to change to my gaming stream. It's just going to be a black box kind of thing. So hold on. Does This is where we play Fallout. We got the Fallout Crash Counter and Caps donated. So if you want to watch me play Fallout tonight, you can. We do that at 11:30, which is pretty late. But hey, we do it. I just want to let you know. So let's put some sponsorship stuff down, man. Where do we want to put it? We'll put it right on my face. No. All right, let's see here. Let's do, maybe we'll put it right underneath this. Yeah, we'll do this. Make it real small like that. Sponsored by, and then we'll change that to, we'll put Amanda on there. So if you guys want to get your name on the show, dude, thank you so much for being here. Amanda Barrett. 3178. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, everyone say thank you to Amanda helping out the show. Oh, it looks like it disappeared. Hold on. I gotta figure it out. There we go. And then we'll just maybe we'll move myself over a little bit. And we'll just that seems good. There we go. Looks fine. Oh, sponsored by Amanda Barrett. 3178. Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate that. All right, so let's see here. Carlos says, where were we? I'm sorry, I was looking away. Let's see here. We got a guy yelling for Tony Hawk for some reason. Bunch of people talking about Red Hot Chili Peppers for some reason. Martin said, what kind of guitar does Santana use? Oh, that's a good question. Santana, I think, is still using his PRS. He has a Paul Reed Smith guitar, which if you don't know what it looks like, I can show you what it looks like, actually. Hold on. We can pull it up. Paul Reed Smith, which is a pretty damn good company, but they don't make anything I necessarily want. But they're still good. So he has one that looks like honey. It's like amber color. So if you look at this, dude, beautiful guitar. It's supposed to be like a double cut Les Paul, if you know what that is. So if you look, these are pretty symmetrical. It looks like a big old bowl of honey, doesn't it? It's pretty cool. So that's the Santana. Pretty cool guitar. But yeah, he plays one of these. Good luck affording one, though. Pretty expensive, but they are beautiful. But I do know for a fact, this is really funny, that Santana kind of uses his strats, too. He's a big strat guy, so one for the strats. Which is funny because, like, PRS can never catch a break, dude. They do make great guitars. But the problem is that just people, they're expensive, and, you know, people really want heritage and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where you're paying a lot of stuff for less inspiration. So if your idols don't play it, then you don't really get excited for it. So yeah, there's a lot of things which are like psychosomatic in guitar. So like if you don't feel good up here about it, like if I told you this guitar was Jimi Hendrix's, like this exact model, like he held this guitar, you'd be like, whoa, Jimi Hendrix played that? It's like, yeah, now it's cool, isn't it? But if I tell you he just played the model, not this exact guitar, it's like, okay, that's still pretty cool. He played one of those? I love Jimi Hendrix. You're like, yeah. But then if I say, well, Jimi Hendrix didn't play this one. He played something that looked kind of like it, but it was a different brand. Then you're like, oh, okay. All right, well, at least it kind of looks like it. See, I mean, it's like different levels of just your kind of impression you get from it. So Mohawk says, Epiphone is a decent brand to buy, in my opinion. Yeah, they're okay. I think they're a little pricey these days. I wouldn't recommend them over other guitars, but they're okay. Makes sense. Let's see here. Graf says, if you could be a pro at any other instrument, what would you play? That's an awesome question. I like how you also implied that I'm a pro at playing guitar. You're super cool. Thank you so much. But I would probably play piano. I think piano is kind of a badass instrument. Maybe drums. That way I don't have to pay any more drummers. I can just do the drums myself. Like live stuff. Yeah. I love it, dude. Yeah, piano or drums. Yeah. That's the move. Piano's a great answer? Yeah, dude. Piano's awesome. I love it. I love it, dude. It's great stuff. Yeah, piano's so beautiful because you just get this wonderful sound. Well, me being a guitar player, it's like we can cheese it a little bit. But I'll tell you what, can I show you guys my favorite Can I show you guys my favorite sound of a piano? Does anyone know what a Rhodes piano is? If you don't know what a Rhodes piano is, let's see here. It's a really glassy sounding piano. You got to listen to this. Check this out. Listen to this, dude. It's incredible sounding. Gorgeous. Isn't that great? Sounds like glass. Mr. Meadle, thank you so much for the wonderful gift. Anyways, I'll cut that off. Yeah, a Rhodes piano, dude. One of my favorite instruments of all time. I almost bought one. It was $1,000. It was way too much money, but it was cheap as hell for a Rhodes. So if you ever want to get a cool ass piano, get a Rhodes, dude. Get a real one. They're fucking awesome. They're real simple to work on too. They're basically just tuning forks. If you don't know anything about them, they're basically just tuning forks. So. Incredible sounding. But once again, thank you for the wonderful donation. We had Mr. What was it? Let me pull that up. Mr. Meadle. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 200 joules, for the sunshine. I appreciate it. Can you guys see my guitar? Hold on. This is a new segment. We don't usually stream this early. So I made some changes to the camera. So let me take a look and see if you can see my guitar through the chat. I'm going to do some quality assurance. Thank you for calling Patrick Gnarly. Your call is being recorded for quality assurance. No sunshine when she's gone. Oh, you can barely see the guitar. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, and that's the other thing, too. The just chatting is a little bit cut off. Okay, it's a little bit cut off, so we're going to make that a little smaller. See how that looks. Dude, not a joke. If you stream on YouTube, like... this much of the screen is cut off. It's amazing. So we're going to make myself a little bit smaller. Whoop! There we go. That way you guys can see my guitar a little bit. Why is half the screen chat? You know what I mean? It's crazy how that works. Unbelievable. I don't know why they do that. All right. Well, now we know a little bit more about the stream. Every time is a little bit different. All right. So what do we got here? Any other questions? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Let's make it a little bit smaller, actually. Put myself up a little more. There we go. Oh, thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful gifts. I appreciate that. Oh, did we get a donation? Another one? We might have. Yeah, Mr. Metal. Excuse me. It's Mr. Metal now. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see here. Jeep says, Pat, why do you always have like a C playing in the background? Would you like to guess? I can answer that. Mohawk sent a $5 donation saying, I told you about my nephew before. He's learning quickly, but he has issues with chords. Mohawk. Okay. So it looks like you're looking for some advice on that. Okay. So here's how it works, man. So chords are really interesting because most people have trouble with them because they've never had to do it before. So it's kind of like spelling. You know what I mean? Like if you've never spelled the word cactus, you're going to have trouble spelling it. It's a little weird. It's a little odd. So the way it works is if you want to learn how to play guitar, if you're trying to have somebody be comfortable, here's my advice. So you want to be able to get the chord down. Let's just say, let's do an easy chord. We'll do E. Turn that reverb off. So we got the E chord, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to set the chord, open, 2, 2. That's the chord, right? Then whoever it is that obviously once you said your nephew, have them play the chord and then let go. Play the chord, let go, go back, because they're going to be like, watch this. I'll play. We already know by logic that my hand, right? My left hand, my right hand. I know how to play guitar. We know this. So here's what makes it really interesting. If I switch sides, right? If I go from righty to lefty, I'm going to lose all my skill immediately. Do you know why? Because it's more than just the brain. It's your tendons. It's your your nervous system. It's your muscles. All of it. So it's like Jeep says, isn't that E minor, not E? They're both E, buddy. That's the point. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, back to the show. All right, so the point is that if you're trying to get it going, like, but if I try to play like D, I have to look at my hand because my right hand's never done this before. It's always my left hand, right? So it's like, so if I switch back and forth, go to G now. That sounds like shit, doesn't it? So it's more than just knowing what you're supposed to do. You have to practice it so you can get your tendons, you can get your fingers, you can get your neurons, all that stuff going the right way. But another great thing to do is to learn to play a song with the chords. So, for example, one of the easiest chords, easiest songs to learn with chords, like let's say you're trying to learn E and G, right? You could learn some Nirvana. Nirvana's my favorite band. So you got... I need an easy friend to put them into land, to think you without you, to want you have a clue. Right? We're just going back and forth. So if you're learning a chord in the beginning, you want to just get your fingers familiar with it. Somebody said muscle memory. We got J Geck, who said muscle memory, perfect example. But yeah, just get your hands right, get your thing going right. But you want to make sure that you're playing a song because it's more entertaining, it's more fun. People that are learning guitar, if you're just playing blindly chords, it's boring. It's like why would you learn to read by reading singular words when you could read a story? Make it fun, man. Yeah, so that's what I would recommend. 2 things. 1, practice the chords themselves for a little bit, just so you know what you're supposed to do, and then try and learn a song. Go slow. Go slower. Find a song you like. Don't tell them what to play. Let them play. You know what I mean? Because they're the one learning. So that's my advice. So Mohawk, thank you so much for the wonderful $5 donation. But yeah, if your nephew's learning, get him a song that they want to play. See if they got the chords. So, but Nirvana's very easy to play. Love them. So, Car Lover. Hey, I love cars too. Car Lover says thoughts on Les Pauls. Love them, dude. They're great. I have a couple, but I only play one on the show. So, I can show it to you. I don't like to play them on the show because too many people get all upsetty spaghetti about branding and stuff. They're like, you gotta play a Gibson! It's like, relax. It's really weird. And I have one, but it's just like, if we could just pay attention to the music. You know what I mean? Pay attention to the songs. But I like them. I just wish they weren't that expensive, you know what I mean? Afternoon Daydream says, I'm looking for a new guitar and I don't know what to get. You're going to have to go to a guitar shop and just sit down and see which ones you like, man. That's the best way to do it. That's how you want to do it, man. Because if you're not doing it, then you're not going to know what you like. Because I could tell you what I like all day. But if you don't get it in your hands, you're not going to know. It's very important to get yourself out there and try some stuff. So. Yeah. Have you tried any guitars, Afternoon? What have you tried? What have you not tried? What do you like out there? Graf says, what's your favorite distortion pedal? I'm a big fan of the Box of Rock from Zvex. It's kind of expensive, but I do like it. There's also fuzz pedals that I like. For example, the Big Muff's a great fuzz. Distortion, I think the Blues Distortion from Boss is pretty good. The Hooves, I think it's called the Hooves from Earthquaker Devices. Oh, no, it's called Talons. Excuse me. Not Hooves. Talons. The Talons from Earthquaker Devices is great. There's a whole bunch, dude. There's so many pedals. It's really hard to go wrong. You just got to find what you like. Afternoon says, I was thinking another Strat. If you already got a Strat, then, dude, maybe get another one. I mean, it's the same thing, so it's kind of like you're talking to the Strat guy who has a bunch of Strats, so it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of biased, but you get whatever you want, man. Player 2 Strat has, I almost with that. I have one. I have a Player, that's what this is. Here, I'll show you. I actually really like the Player 2 Strat. Highly recommend it. They're a little expensive. If you can get a used one, dude, money. Cash money, dude. I only paid $500 for this. I love this thing. The craftsmanship on this is excellent. They really did a good job with the Player 2s. Really like them. They have a smaller neck, though, so be warned. At least they feel smaller to me. I'm a big fan of them. Zoe says, I got to go. See you guys later. See you, Zoe. Thank you so much for moderating and helping out the show. All right, let me move some stuff around. Why is that so? You know what it is? I just realized why that is. There is a whole bunch of stuff at the bottom of the screen that YouTube puts up there. That must have been an update recently. Yeah, I bet you that's what it was. Man, that really makes the screen small, doesn't it? Okay, so let me do some stuff real quick. Let me do some housekeeping. So we're going to make the thing up here a little bit smaller. We're going to make it wider. So give me a second here, everybody. Just going to see what it looks like. All right, so we're going to do that. Bring that down a little bit. And then we have that big chat window. So that is such a big part. That's like not a joke. That's probably like 30% of the screen is just chat. Why, YouTube? And is it off center? It is, yeah. Let's move that over. Okay, so I guess we'll make me... Man, it's like, what's the point? Make me a little bit smaller. Put me up there. Mr. Metal sent a Canadian dollar. Thank you so much, Mr. Metal. I appreciate that. What guitar is that? Looks like an SG to me, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Mohawk says, chair is so much on YouTube. That's why a lot of people use other services. I mean, I used to use TikTok for a long time. I get it now. You know what's weird? Sometimes you have to look at something yourself because the chat's not going to say something. You guys are just having fun. But yeah, the chat is so much in the way. You can't really see my guitar. Now I see why when I'm playing live on my other stuff, yeah, there's been some updates. I can tell. So let's see. What happens if you do the chat? Man, that covers up the entire screen now. Man, YouTube's got to really fix their UI. It's pretty bad. But Mr. Metal said, yeah, it's an SG Special. I used to have one. I used to have a black one. Big neck on those. Real big neck, but good. It's good. It's good filling neck on it. It's just real big. I like the smaller necks. But damn, dude, that's so funny. Shout out to the SGs, man. AMPL says, what's your opinion on the SG? I like them. I don't love them. I used to have one. I have a Harley Benton SG for when I want to do certain songs and stuff. But the reason I don't like SGs is they're not balanced. So not all of them, at least. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch this real quick before I do anything. Hands off, right? Look, the guitar it's up. It's at the playing position. Hands are off. That's balanced, baby. So they're great feeling sitting down and standing up. SGs, watch this, everybody, watch. Playing position. No! No! It goes down. Which, again, you're probably thinking, big deal. Who cares? Dude, if you're constantly having to hold a guitar a certain way that's different than other ones, you're not going to get used to it. It's very weird. I'm going to tell you right now, if you can find an SG, try one out. You might love it. You might love it, dude. Some people put a weight on their strap down here to keep it up like that. But like you can kind of position it to where it's like, okay, cool. But then it's like that's like a weird position. I don't know, man. But they don't sound bad. I think SGs are great. They really are. But I like the way my Strats and my Jaguars and my Les Pauls sound. I really do. Ampel says, I have that balance issue with my Strats instead. You know what's funny? So everybody's a little different. So if you sit a certain way, it's going to be different. So Jeep says, isn't that called neck dive? Yeah, that's one of the ways. You could say neck dive, neck heavy. They're still great guitars. Like, don't get me wrong, dude. They're great. They're phenomenal guitars. But let me put it this way. There's no other guitar with this fret access. Like, you can hit every fret. Just... It's all there, man. It's all good. But, yeah, just that whole neck dive thing, the neck heaviness, it is a factor. Because if you're playing, you're constantly thinking, like, I have to hold the neck. If you let go of the neck, or if you, like, sit in a weird way, it's down, man. Not a great experience. So, Graf says, thoughts on the Takai Firebird? Our guitarist has one and he loves it. I've actually never played a Takai. Takai, for those of you who don't know, Takai is a brand that is a Japanese brand that specializes in making kind of like Gibson clones and Fender clones of things. They kind of get around the lawsuit because Japan kind of has an interesting law or the way they look at the legal system. But essentially, I think Gibson acted too late or Fender acted too late. Or they can do the headstock, so they're allowed to do it. And you're allowed to buy them, bring them over. I will say this. I have tried other similar brands. What's the one I tried that was like similar? I'm going to be honest. I wasn't too impressed. But that being said, I haven't played Takai. And guess what? Every brand's a little different. What's the one that I played recently that I hadn't got a chance to? Okay, let me look up Japanese guitar brands. Hold on. Let me look it up. Yamaha's great, obviously. Ibanez is great. ESP's great. Fender Japan's great. I think it was Greco. Yeah, I played a Greco SG. Is that Japanese? Hold on. Is Greco Japanese? Am I stupid? Was it Greco? I think it might have been something else. I can't remember. Oh, no, it is a Japanese brand. Okay, it is Greco. Sorry about that. So Greco, I tried a Greco, and I was like, this is pretty much just Epiphone. I was not impressed. So I would like to try an Edwards, which is ESP. I would like to try Takai. I would like to try... What's another Japanese brand that I haven't tried? There's another one. Orville. I think it's Orville, which is Gibson's attempt to make Japanese guitars, I think. So, what's funny is they mostly come out of the same factories. But bottom line is that there's a lot of Japanese companies that supposedly make stuff that's very close to the American stuff. But obviously they're made in Japan, so they're a bit different. So, Zah says, is the neck heavy or is the body small? That's a good question, Zah. So the way SGs work is if you look where the neck is, where the body is, so the neck joint is pushed up that way. So you see this big area where there's nothing. So the guitar is actually really oddly proportioned. So you can find SGs that are light enough or heavy enough in certain areas where it's okay. But let me show you a different guitar. Yeah, the way that they're proportioned is very odd. So like if you look at a Strat, they have this offset horn up here because it helps with the balance. Because if they're parallel to each other, if they're the same length, and it's not offset like that, then it's going to have balancing issues. So yeah, it's the weight distribution is there's too much weight up here versus back here. So it's very odd how that works. So let's see here. Lidl says, hello, hello. Man City says, do you have any Mustangs? I used to. I don't play Mustangs anymore, unfortunately. Not a big fan of Mustangs. Yeah, they're okay. The problem is that the ones that I like are expensive. The vintage ones, which if you're going to buy a vintage Fender, the vintage models are pretty reasonably priced. You're probably thinking, oh, how much? It's like, well, they're like $2,000 to $5,000, which you're like, what? That's so much. It is. But the good news is that it's not 20,000 to 50 to 100,000 because vintage Strats and stuff and Tellys, those are expensive. Like, good God, those are expensive. So, unbelievable. Also, real quick, the people that sent us donations, I'm so sorry. Mohawk and Mr. Metal, I did not put your names on the sponsored thing. So bear with me here. I've been kind of just in the zone with talking, so I apologize. And then, you know what? We'll make that easier to read, too. So we'll do that. So we got Mohawk, who sent a $5 donation. Thank you so much, man. Mohawk, 5337. And then we had Mr. Metal. Very cool, man. And then give me a second, I'll fix it. We'll just save that. And we'll put that right over here. Or maybe, you know what we should do? Actually, you know what? This is better. This is better. I got it, but way better system. We'll move this up just a little bit. And then we'll make this a little bit smaller. Whoops, it like disappeared. We'll put it up here, dude. Come on, man. And we'll make me a little bit smaller. There we go. That look better? All right, we'll see what it looks. We'll see how this looks. Hold on. Let's see here. Jeep says, did you hear that Sublime is making a new album? No, I did not know that. I imagine so. It's the son of Sublime, essentially, right? It's son of Sublime. We'll make that a little bit smaller. We'll bring that down a little bit, too. And we'll make that a little bit smaller, too. Sucks that the dimensions of these things are so bad. But, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Dude, Sublime's great. They got some great music. I play some Sublime on the show. Man, who'd have thought that they changed the dimensions of the stream? So we'll just move this water up. There we go. So does that look better? I think that looks better. And we'll change my album. For those of you who don't know, there's a new album from my band that came out not that long ago, man. That makes so much more sense. Put this up here. There we go. I'm going to listen to my band finals. Make that maybe a little bit bigger so you guys can read it. All right, that looks a little better. There we go. Yeah. It's hard to believe that these the chat is so much bigger in this. Okay. It's a little fuzzy too, isn't it? Man, the quality is so good on my computer, but it's terrible on this. Bradley Noel's son is the new singer. Yeah. It is. Mancy says, what are your opinions on Squire Jaguars? They're okay. They work. They're people like modifying them. I've owned one. I had the luxury of being able to try out a bunch of Jaguars at a store. And while the Squire ones feel good, I don't know, something about how they play. The sound is like, I changed the pickups. I changed like parts on it. It just never sounded good. I don't know what that is. So I don't know what's up with that. But, yeah, I'm going to say right now, if you want to feel a Jaguar, play a Squire. If you want to have something a little better quality, I wouldn't go under the Made in Mexico stuff. The Made in Mexico stuff and the Japanese stuff is actually pretty damn good. I have over here an American one and a Made in Mexico one, and I adore them. So, yeah. Let's see here. IDJ says, he fits well, but it is weird. Huh? You mean me? Let's see here. Jeep says, oh, you never told us what's up with the water. Oh, I mean, I was seeing if you could guess, but so me being a huge fan of Nirvana, I really liked the Nevermind album cover. So I just thought the aspect of water was very interesting to have as a backdrop. There's also a band that I really liked called the Fall of Troy, and they made a joke once. This is how stupid this is. This was way back in the way back in the day, called when YouTube was like just starting. A lot of bands would just do vlogs of their own stuff. So like the Fall of Troy is just like they have a camera and they're like talking to each other and they're being obnoxious. And at one point they say, you know, it'd be sick, a waterfall backdrop, patented waterfall backdrop. And so they wanted a real one behind them, but obviously I did the easier thing. Just had a picture or video of one. So I thought that was fun. So anyways, but yeah, that's why there's a background of that's usually water. It's because I love Nirvana, and the other one is I thought it would be funny to have a waterfall backdrop. So, all right, we keep it going, man. Thank you guys again so much for being here. You guys are awesome. I think I'm going to lower myself just a little bit. Hold on. Lower that a little bit so I can show off the stuff up here. Yeah, we're messing with stuff right now. This is a new segment on the show, so sorry if it looks a little weird. Just trying to get everything fitting. It's a new segment. There's growing pains. You can't test it till you're on the show. So sorry about that again. All right, we'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, that should be okay. And then you know what? We'll make that a little faster too. It did it again. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to just make this wider. There we go. We'll cut out all that empty space. There we go. I think we're satisfied with it. All right, shouldn't be messing with it. Man City says, do you have Kurt's signature Jaguar? No, I actually made a conscious decision not to buy it. Even though I think it's incredible. That's probably the best Jaguar ever made from Fender. Not a joke. Like, I understand that the Nirvana, connection there makes me biased. I don't like the Mustang. So let that be clear. The Mustang and the Jag-Stang I think are good, but I don't love them. I think the Kurt Cobain Jaguar is amazing. Even if you don't like Jags, it's really a Les Paul in disguise, in my opinion. I think they're great. But I didn't buy one because I wanted to have my own guitar. I wanted to have my own thing. So I built my own Jaguar, which is a 50th anniversary that I really, really liked. So I was like, I'll just modify this one, and that'll be my guitar. You know what I mean? The Patguar, I like that. No, I call this the evil Jaguar because it's like very menacing looking. It is absolutely treacherous. I love this thing. But yeah, that's how it goes, man. Yeah, I wanted my own thing, and I'm happy I did it. I'm really happy I got my own thing. So, Graf says, "What does your day look like when you're in the studio?" Good question, man. Good question. I had my first studio session last Saturday. It was such a unique experience. I've been to the studio, like a real studio, like where you go out and pay for it. I've been to a couple of them, and honestly, I hate to say it, but unless you have the right people and you're not paying out of pocket, like let's say you got a record company or something, it really sucks. I don't see the value of going to a record studio anymore, or not record studio, excuse me, a recording studio anymore, because you have so many options for at-home recording. It almost doesn't make sense. Like, why spend 20 grand, 15 grand, $5 grand, whatever it is, of your own pocket money? Like a lot of money, split between 4 people, 3 people, whatever it is, in a band. Why do that when you can spend that amount on a good computer, a good DAW, getting some recording equipment, and just have it so you can do it anytime you want? It's like one is a one-time use deal, whereas obviously you get the engineer, the producer, whoever. And the other one is just do it yourself. That way when you get people involved and they go, hey, man, we like your stuff, let's pay for it. We want to invest in you. That way we get our money back. That way when you get a record company that notices you, you already have all the stuff ready to go. Does that make sense? So I know people are out there and they're like, I don't want to do all that stuff. I'd rather let a professional do it. It's like, makes sense. It took me a long time to do this. But I've gone to studios and I'm like, this sounds good, but now I can't do anything with it. Like, I can't redo the recordings. I can't fix mistakes. I have to go to them. And that costs a lot of money. So unless you have money up front, it's tough, man. It's really tough. So Za says, if you could sign a major labels is worth it, though? Yeah, for sure. But again, I know that's kind of a goofy thing, but, Graf says, we paid $250 for 4 songs, a nice basic mix. That's a great deal, dude. That's a great deal. I've paid a couple $100 for like similar things, and I did not have a good experience. So not the best thing. So I don't know. It just depends. Your mileage may vary. But I think nowadays the move is to just do it yourself because you get a better return on investment. And if things go wrong, you can just modify things later. Obviously, you have to learn a lot, though. It's a lot of manual lifting, a lot of actual thought processes going. So it's a little different. Man says, what pedals are on Dead Athletes? The same ones on the show. Same stuff. Yeah. If you like the sounds, there's a video on my account. If you go to my account on the top left, Patrick Gnarly, if you click that, there's a video that says the gear video or something like that, 2024. Go watch it. All my stuff's in there, man. Yeah, you can see all the equipment. I'm not going to tell you what all the settings are and all that stuff, but because I didn't write it down, but I know what it is. So yeah, go check it out, man. Go listen to it. Afternoon says, what guitar did you use on How Tall Is the Sun the most? Ooh, interesting question. So it would be my Strats. Both of my Strats. There's also a Les Paul on there too. But I can't tell you exactly what it is, man. I don't have it written down, but I'll tell you what, if you're trying to find what I used, use what you use. You'll get something better because it's you. If you want to play like me, that's awesome. Play the songs. Your equipment is you. You want to be able to play the equipment effectively. So if you buy my stuff, you're going to play something unfamiliar. Yeah, just use a Strat, use a Les Paul, use a Jaguar, use a different Strat. I don't know. Use something that you like, man. I'm telling you. If you can't tell the difference between the songs, it doesn't matter anyways. So just use what you like. What distortion pedal is it? Go look at the video! You'll see all the stuff. But that being said, you guys, it is 6:50. I'm going to take off a little bit early today. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some more streaming the next couple days. We're not ending the show permanently. I'm just going to take a break. At 8 p.m., so Eastern Standard Time, so in about 1 hour and 10 minutes, I will be back on here. We will play some music. We're going to have a good time. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed by now, make sure you subscribe. I'll be back in about an hour, and we'll play some music. And then later tonight, we'll play some video games as well. So we're going to keep streaming. I'm just going to take a big break. I will be back later. So I'm going to end the stream. Like I said, though, if you have not subscribed, make sure you do it. I'll be back later. Also, thank you to the wonderful supporters of the show. We got our big sponsors out there, people that help out the show. We have some wonderful people out there. We have Amanda Barrett. We have Mohawk and Mr. Metal. All right, everybody. I got to go take off. Give me an hour. I'll be back. Stay gnarly, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a wonderful success. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. And listen to my band Finals in the meantime if you want. See if I'm just a hack fraud who just gives advice, but I can't back it up. Listen to my band Finals. I have a new album that came out. Finals Unplugged, man. Go listen to it. That's the new album. Go listen to the rock album before it. That's an acoustic album. Go listen to something. I gotta go. Good night, everybody. I'll be back in an hour. Subscribe. Stay gnarly. Bye-bye.